Hi there, welcome to Dave in the Shed. I'm Dave and this is my little corner of the world, also known as the Shed Mahal. Now if you're into DIY, 3D printing and model trains, you've come to the right place. Now fair warning, I do things a little bit differently. I have cerebral palsy, which means sometimes things get a little bit creative around here, but hey, it just makes it more fun. So if you like making, fixing, and maybe even breaking things along the way, stick around. Hit that subscribe button and let's build something awesome together.
Down in the shed where the magic begins, Dave's got his tools, let the fun commence. 3D printing dreams, watch him come alive. With every little gadget, man, he starts to thrive. Blueprints in hand, technology so keen, building up the future like a crafty machine. Model trains rolling on a whimsical track. In this shed of wonder, there's no time to slack. Oh, Dave in the shed where the vibes stay high. Creating with passion, he's reaching for the sky. DIY master in a vibrant samba flow. Hope you enjoyed the video, let's get ready to go. Let's get ready to go.
Now I'm not going crazy. There is a blue tongue in my shed. I was just working on putting the street lights and setting the pot. Now they hiss. I don't know if you can hear it hissing. They do hiss. Putting some lights up or getting ready to run the cable just here. The cable end is just here. About there, getting ready to put the lights on in the pub and that side of the street. And I heard a funny noise. I thought, oh, what's that? Here it is over here, bold as brass, sitting up there, having a chat. Our resident blue tongue. I don't know whether I should put some welding gloves on and grab it or try and get it in a box or something. I don't know, but anyway. What was that? No, it's off. Yeah, I might have missed this chance to grab it, but can you hear it? You go under there where you're safe, fella. Okay, it's still around. Well, hello and welcome to this Friday Dave in the Shed video. Shed update. Got the lights turned out at the moment just to show you something. Working in the dark. I put the LED lighting in the pub. As you can see here, just wander down the street and the shops. Down here, do a walk along, Dave. Do a bit of a scroll down so you can see. So I've got to come back with some black paint and black cardboard to do a bit of blocking out because the light is a bit bright, shining through some areas of buildings we don't want, but some of the lighting effects are brilliant. Have a wander down here. I've run out of LEDs, so I've had to put an order in on one of those Chinese websites. Naughty, naughty, naughty boy. Which may or may not start with a T, to order some more LEDs because I need more 6-volt LEDs. I've got quite a few 12-volt LEDs. These are the LEDs that have the built-in resistor, which does the current limitation. Because I'd like to now put some more highlights in. Down this end of the layout we need to put in lights around the servo area and the tramway cafe. We need a few other places we will need to put in some LEDs to do the night, but that's where we're at with the night lighting. Now we'll waiting for the motion sensor lights to go out. We can have a look at the other area. I suppose we can look at it. This is with the LED under lights. Now they're on motion sensors, so they come on when you walk past, which is really great for working. And the up the top there you can see the see, it'll come on again as soon as I move, which is crazy. If I stand still, the lights will go out. But you can see effect. That's an interesting effect alone. Helps them working. But the building down the back, where the old factory has lights in behind in the windows. There you go. Oop, lights up again, and we do have lights over there. Street lights around that. Now some of these I have to replace. Oh, that's just a loose wiring, that one. But I've got to replace them. There's the ghost in the background in the park. If you haven't seen the ghost, I am going to have to replace some of the park lighting and put some new park lighting in, which is we're going to have a look at the video. It's probably going to hopefully do a little how-to tutorial. Hang around, it'll either work or it won't. There you go. I do plan to put in more lighting when I get more LEDs. Now I run a 6-volt voltage bus underneath. Oh, hello, big cat. Underneath the layout, all the layout has a 6-volt wiring bus that runs all the lighting around the place. So I have to put lights in, like over in the new Loco Depot service filter bits and pieces. Like I said, run out LEDs, had to reorder some. But there is a 6-volt, like a DCC bus, but there is a 6-volt bus that supplies the power to all the lights, all the accessories, to the gates that open and close, and bits and pieces. Now let's hang on, turn some lights on. Turn on these lights here. Whoa, that'll blow out. So up here there is 2 power supplies up in the lance up here that run all the accessories. So there's 2 6-volt power supplies tucked up there, nice and safe out of the road, where you'd have to be very unlucky to be able to get yourself hooked up on those, but they are up there. And that supplies the lighting. But yeah, used up all my 3-volt, all my 6-volt LEDs. Sorry, I do have some 12-volt LEDs like you use in Locos and that, but running them off the 6-volt bus is a bit silly. Now I cheat and I buy LEDs with the built-in resistor that balances them, that gives the current protection on, just because it's a cheap and easy way to do it. Better than me doing it myself. Now, that's it. I'm just going to stop this and put some big lights on, and then we'll rock on with what we want to talk about. Now, by default, most LED light emitting diodes, that's what their technical term, are designed to run on about 1.5 volt maximum, 3 volt if you can get away with it. But these ones you buy off the websites, that they say they're rated at a set voltage, they have down in this little bit in the heat sinking, if I zoom down here, they often have what is called a resistor, and you can see it's a little lumpy bit down in there if I go down in there. There's a resistor underneath the heat shrink, and what it does is it current limits the current, because it's the current that kills the LED, not actually the voltage. But anyway, now I'm running this off my bench supply at 6.2 volt, yeah, very, very accurate, and it's that current is 0.036 watts. This is actually a 12 volt thing, so this can take up to 12 volts before it explodes, but it's running off the 6 volts, not too bad. So there's certain situations you can use that. But if you want them really, really, really bright, you're best to run them at the voltage specified. Now I'm about to do a conversion on one of the Aldi lights. So if you bear with me while I set this up and do this, one of the Aldi Christmas lights that if you watched last week's video you'll know what we're talking about. We're going to do a conversion on them to show you what I do to convert these into 6 volts. Currently they're 3 volt lamps. If I plug them into my, and I'm not going to blow it up just for expensive, if I plug these straight into my town supply voltage, they will go pop. They will let out the magic smoke. But I'm going to show you how I convert these to run on the fixed power bus on the layout. So bear with me, here we go. So what I've got is my string of lights. They come from Aldi in this packet, or wherever you source them from. These ones that come out, and they're on this string. designed for going to Christmas displays and all this, but we don't want them. We want to hide them. We want to embed them. This one I've already flicked off the reef, this little reef. I'll put it over here. There is a little Christmas wreath on them, on the poles. Takes a little bit of effort, but not too much effort to pull them off, and you end up with a lamp. Now I'm going to cut this off the string of lamps, so we don't want that. So here we are live. Here I come. Good commentary. And I'm going to cut as close as to the previous lamp on this string. So this is the last lamp on the string, and I'm going to cut it. So it is now separated off the string of lights. Okay, can you see that? Oh, I'll show you this. Look at this. Oh, disconnected. Not that you can see. Okay. So, next thing is not that sophisticated, not that hard to do, but I'll talk you through it. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to strip the wires. Going to do that off camera, and I'm going to come back to you. Now I've stripped these wires, and if you look carefully, you'll notice that one is gold and one is silver. Now, I think from experience that the gold one is your positive and the silver is your negative. But there's only one way to find out. What I'm going to do is I'm going to grab the old multimeter. This is an old one. It's equivalent of a poor man's fluke, but does the same job. What I'm going to do is put it on test mode. I'll show you that in a sec. But you want continuity test mode, which is over here on this one. What you can see. So see how it's got the little symbol? It's got continuity and it's got diode setting, which is what we want. See that? It's called continuity testing. And I'll just be back with you in a sec. Hang on. Not sure how this is going to work, but I've tried to put the camera on a stand so I can work remotely and film this and do all this, and you can see what I'm doing. A really dirty, sawdusty screen. Anyway, let's go in a bit. There is a remote app for this camera, but as I've just discovered, I can't use the fancy wireless microphone and have the phone on remote control and use the remote mic at the same time. So I'll have to do some more research. Anyway, so I've got the meter in continuity mode, which is a little symbol here. Read your manual on that it is, but it's in BP mode, in diode mode, which is what we want. So if I touch the two probes together, it beeps to show we have continuity, and it should go 000 on the screen. That's our resistance reading. So what I'm going to do is hopefully, this is a bit thing because I can't see everything that's going on. Anyway, I've got the leads here. I'll pull them up. Leads the leads here for the cable. Now this one here is a silvery colour and that is a gold one. Now from memory, the silvery one is the negative and the goldy one is the positive. If I've got this right, so the meter's beeping. I've got really zero resistance. And if you look really carefully using some meters, the light may come on, but not. Okay, so now I know which one is negative and which one is positive by the beeping. Okay, so what I do, you don't have to, is always put a little knot. Just tie a little knot. I don't know if you can see this. I'm trying to get this on camera. So in the negative line, next time I decide to do this, might have been a better way to mount the camera. But so I tie a knot in the negative. Doing this camera on this camera not good. So anyway, I'm all thumbs because of the CP. But anyway, right. So I now have a knot. If you can see that, have a knot in there. In that car, so that's my negative. So what I'm going to do now, and Editor Dave will put in the values, is this resistor, this tiny little resistor, I'm going to put that in my positive line. So I know which is negative, which is positive, because you know. So now, there's no reason in theory, you don't have to get hung up about which is positive and which is negative. If you don't have a multimeter, that step's not crucial, and I'll explain why as we go along. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to just twist this in now. It can go either in the positive or negative lead. It's good practice that it goes in the positive lead, just electronics, but because it's a limiting resistor, it's limiting the current travelling to that LED, it'll work like a valve in either line. So it's a valve, like a limiting valve, like you're turning a tap down. So we're not stopping the current, we're just limiting the amount of current that will come through. So that can either go in the positive or negative line. It's just good electrical engineering practice to have that in the positive line. Doesn't matter. So if you don't have a multimeter and you want to do this, don't panic. Dave, Editor Dave, will put in the value of the resistor now in the video, so he can tell you what the value of the resistor is. Once again, it's not too critical, it's just got to be close enough. There's lots of calculators online how to work that out. But anyway, I've got to go and dig up the soldering iron and I'll be back. In between the last shot and this shot, I bumped the camera. So if everything's rearranged and removed, I'm sorry. Now I've got the old Ryobi. The old Ryobi 18 volt, not sponsored by Ryobi, I just like their 18 volt gear. I've got the old soldering iron out. I'm going to put a bit of solder on here. This soldering iron needs a new tip, by the way. So I'm just going to, I can't see the screen, I can't see what I'm doing. And I'm just going to, using the fancy holder, I'm just going to solder this on. Look, once again, this is not a how-to on video, it's what I do to put the lights on. But anyway, solder that joint on there. Easy as that. And that's in the what I've identified as being the negative cable. Any questions about this, do shoot me an email. Okay, so we've got that. What I can do now is I can do a continuity test again, just to see. Now, look at this. Check my meter, still beeps. Now, you know something there? No beep. The circuit now is there's a resistance in the line. Without the resistance, with the resistance. So next step, we test on the power supply. If that makes no sense, don't worry. It's just showing you that resistor is now in line and working. Now if you wanted to, you could put a bit of heat shrink over this here for good practice. I normally don't, the way I put them in later when I connect all up. Might just put this over here to tidy it up. But you could put a heat shrink or electrical tape over that connection if you wanted to, just for good practice. I don't know if you can see this. Hang on, I'm going to take the camera off the stand I've put it on, just be back with you. We'll try and get down here. That LED is barely on. That LED, big fella cat's coming to give a hand. So that LED is on, barely visible to the naked eye. So I am dropping in, oh, Mr. Down the road. Come on, Jazz. He's decided he wants to rub up against the camera. Come on. You're going to make interesting video. Well, this, by the way, is the stand that I had the camera on. I was trying to film all this stuff, this camera, on this stand here. I've got to try and work out the remote control, how I can remotely, there is a remote control function so I can remotely control this camera, but I've just got to work out how to do it because my first attempt, okay, come on dude, down the road. My first attempt with trying to do it and have the mic on it said it couldn't do both. Anyway, let's back to the video with the cat button. Right. So pumping 5.92 volts at 0.005 watts is with 0.001 amp. This LED barely visible. It was on, we just couldn't see it. So that resistor is resisting too much. Now I've only got, that's the standard size resistor resistance I use, so it does work. I can run these lamps off the 6 volt supply, but we end up with, I want a bit more bright than that, so I'm going to have to do some mathematics and work out a resistor that doesn't resist as much and get back to you, because I was just going to do like I did with the same resistor I used on the old lamps, and it's not working for the new ones. Which is bizarre. But anyway, that's a little bit of a failure video. Basically, I was going to give a really good how-to. Mr. Puss walking around is triggering the lights on and off. But anyway, that's not working for me. I want the lights a bit brighter than that. There. I'll show you something else just to show the video, because that's a big... I've only got bigger resistors. Haven't got little resistors. Because that's the one I stand to use. Look, that's the same resistor I used over here. And these ones are at the right brightness. Turn that light off. And I've used the same resistor. And yeah, look at this one. I wonder if there is an interesting different, they've used a different LED, because this one seems to have the same issue. That one's very, very, very dull. And it's one of the old sets. So I'm going to have to do some more investigating. So don't follow this video. You're being a pain now. You're going to get booted. Go on. This is just out of business. This means nothing for anybody out there. Let's see if we can get, what do we need? Can you read that? Maybe we'll put the light on. This meter does have backlight if it helps. I just want to do a voltage test. So I'm just using the meter in the 20 volt scale. So across here and here we have 5.95, which is pretty much close to what the meters to the meter in the voltmeter's putting in. It's saying that's 5. Let's check the voltage drop across this. Yeah, so there's about one volt drop across that resistor, which is, we're expecting that. So I would probably have to go up a bit more. I don't want to blow this lamp up on, but that's doing a better. So these new LEDs must draw less current, or draw more current. Anyway, I'm going to have to do some mathematics and do some thinking about this one. I'm thinking about this, because currently that dropping resistor, limiting resistor, is not going to work for these lights in my situation. Now, what I could do, I'm going to go to try and test this light. Yeah, and I've got something else to show you in a sec. Hang on, we'll come back. This is just confusing. If you've got any ideas, let me know. Let me know in the comments. Now, I'm hoping we've got this in shot. It's very hard for me because I've got the camera up on a stand to be able to look and see what's in shot. But there we are. We've got, what I'm going to do is, this is one of these LEDs that's designed to take 12 volts. And it's currently running off 5.92. Let's slowly take it up. What you can see. Oop, a bit over 12 volts, but that's full brightness over 12 volts. That's the difference in what it can do. And it'll probably pull a bit more than 12 if we wanted to. I don't know if I can get in shot. But anyway, let's slide this back. Now, if you're going to do videos like this, Dave, you should really clean up the workbench. But that's at full brightness. So when I'm saying these designed to run off, they will run off less voltage, but they'll be less bright. But you can run this LED off 12 volt due to the little resistor they've got in the line there all day and all night and not blow it up. So why, yes, I could use the 12 volt ones on my 6 volt supply. They're not going to be bright. In some situations, it's quite, if you want less light, it's quite handy to run a 12 volt rated LED on a lesser supply, and they'll last a lot longer and give you less voltage. Anyway, we'll take this back down to 6. That'll do. There you go. Well, that's not the video I wanted to make. I wanted to show you, look, this video, put this in, solder in this resistor, and boom, I can run my 6 volt supply through these lights. It didn't work. It didn't work like that. So we'll get back to you next week. Keep safe, keep well, all that. Don't forget, get out there and do something in your shed, have a go at something, all the stuff I normally say. Like, subscribe, share this video. Got any questions about what you've seen or don't understand, let me know and I'll try and give you some answers. And if you like this style of how-to video, let me know and I'll try and do some more when I figure out all the mechanics of doing it. I've got to try and get the app for the phone to work so I can remotely. I think it's got to be done via the internet, not just a wireless link, which is going to be a pain. But we'll see. Yeah, talk to you later. Okay, not to be defeated, not to be defeated today. What I've done is I've gone digging through my bits and pieces of supply and I've found another resistor, the value of I will put up very soon and tell you all what it was. But there you go, I've got it down to where I'll probably run with. Otherwise I've got to order resistors and wait to come if I want to play with these next week. This resistor is an overkill resistor for what we're doing. I will put the resistance values of what resistance I'm playing with. But this one is in line. It's working very much the instructions I told you about. I might have to do a whole how-to video. That's running off 6 volts. It's drawing 0.002 amps, which is safe. You're not going to blow up that little LED running off a big supply like that. Okay, and I'm doing this in the dark too, which doesn't, oh, those background. That lights, it's not equivalent to what these ones are putting out about a bit more. But yeah, that's okay, they're enough for a holler. They're not actually lighting up, supplying ambient light to the street. They are just more of an indicator that the street lights are on. It's got that nice yellow glow that represents an oil lamp. But anyway, that's about the light we'll use. Anyway, I will... There we're going to jump around. I'll tell you what the thing is. I've got to show to you. So that's a 100 ohm resistor in line. Now that's a watt resistor. You only need a little one. You only probably need the quarter watt one. You don't need a 100 watt. 1 watt. That's a 1 watt resistor. Anyway, so that's where we will leave you this week. Soldering that resistor in is how I did it last time. You solder in the line, you test it. Somebody's going to want to know what the voltage drop is. Do you want to know what that is? Across the resistor. Oh, somebody's going to ask. Hang on. Let me put the lights on. Let me grab the meter. I'm not going to put this on. I'm going to try and do this one-handed. Put this on. Hang on. Right. Let's see what we can do one-handed. If you don't know what I'm doing, don't worry. I'm just measuring the voltage drop across the resistor. Which, yeah, okay, it's about 0.25 of a volt. Okay. Right, that proves nothing. Anyway, that's it for this week. Talk to you later. That resistor that I'm running on there is a 100 watt, so probably about a 100 watt resistor as a current limiting resistor. Anyway, oh, what a funny, stupid video. I'll get out of your hair now. We'll talk to you next week with a new video. Don't forget, been Dave in the Shed. Like and subscribe. And we'll talk to you next week. And we probably have some of these installed, hopefully. Yeah, oh well, looks like I'm going to have to order some more 100 watt resistors. Talk to you later. Bye.